Well, good morning, folks. How y'all this morning? Hopefully well. I've had a bunch of people ask me how I made this zero clearance insert that slides in and out of my throat plate so I don't have to replace throat plates every time I want a zero clearance. Well, today I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to do this. I'm not going to actually be running my tools, but nonetheless, you should get a grasp of the idea and be able to do it for yourself. And if you have further questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm always here to help. But here we go. We're going to start right here at the table saw. What you're going to do is raise up your blade to where it's just below. If you look real close here, I'll try to get a better view for you. Just below a 1/4 of an inch. That way you can hog out a bunch of the material. Alright, now that you got that done, after you get your markings where you want them on your insert, you would just line up your saw fence, table saw fence like so, to hog out majority of this material. Now of course you would need to take apart this, and anywhere that you might have a metal screw in here, you would want to remove that. Now for me, I just had to remove this locking bracket, and all it takes is a simple little screwdriver like so, Phillips screwdriver or 4-way, whatever you want to call it. And then you would turn the saw on, of course, and you would hog out that material all the way through. And I would suggest using push blocks or of some sort to do so. You wouldn't want to get your hand caught in that. Just work it nice and slow. This stuff does not cut as good as wood, I notice. And you would just gradually work that fence over. And I don't think it really matters which way you go. You could even use a dado blade to get most of it out. But I think as long as you have a flat tooth, it would be best. Flat tooth raker is what this one is. It's a Freud Diablo combination 50 tooth with a flat tooth raker every 5, I believe. Once that's done, you would have most of your material hogged out. You would come over here to the router. And at the router table, you're going to use this little bit here. It's a 14-degree dovetail bit. And you're going to put that down in your router. I like to bottom it out, and then bring it right back up. Most of the shank is surrounded, and then you would tighten that up. Get your tools out of the way, and then you would lower it down. And this is where it's going to be more important to get this perfect. So I would suggest going below that 1/4 inch to begin with. That way if I can get a close up, I'll show you what I mean here. You'd want to rub your nail over top of this, and can you hear that where it catches? That's where I would start with, and you'd lock that down. That way it doesn't move. Once that's done, you can set your setup block out of the way. And then you need to set up your fence. And your fence needs to be set up so that the groove I like to start with the closest side to the fence first. And that's really the preferred way to do it. It's going to be dangerous, and it'll try to get kicked back if you take too big of a cut. So once you have your fence locked down, you can run this through. Now I found that I had an issue once I moved it over this way to the other side. I found an issue where this kept wanting to go away from it. So in order to keep that from happening, all you would need to do is flip this plate around and keep running against that side there, and it would be basically even. I'm thinking it's probably more important for you to get more material on this side of the insert plate hogged out. That way you have space for dados with your zero clearance. Once that's done, then what you'll have is a sliding dovetail here, just like that. Can you see it? Hopefully you can see right there. Nice sliding dovetail. And you would take your measurements. A set of calipers is going to be the best bet to get this measured correctly. So you would take this, make sure it's zeroed out, and then you'd measure across. And we got 1.84. Now, once that's done, you'd raise your blade up, and you would find your measurement here, which is 1.84. There we go. 1.84. We're just going to estimate, and since I'm not going to make any cuts, I'm not going to worry about it that much. There we go. We lock that down.